Welcome to my channel. I'm going to show you how I made this beautiful dress. Please keep watching. Start by cutting out the top part, the bodice. I'll mark 1.5 inches down and draw a straight line on a piece of paper. Then I'll measure the length. The length, in this case, you're going to measure your full length from shoulder to waist and take away 5. So mine came up to 9. My full length was 14 and I took away 5, it came to 9. Then I drew a straight line again. So after that, I'm going to use my bust measurements. We shall divide our bust measurements into 4. And then we shall add 4 more inches to the answer we get. So after getting about 8.5, I added 4 inches and I got 12.5. Then I marked 12.5 on each of the lines and I drew a straight line. Then I'm going to get my shoulder measurements. My shoulder measurement is about 15. I divided that by 2. Then I went ahead and marked it on the first line that we drew. After adding that, then I added about 2 more inches. Then after, we are going to mark our armhole on the straight line we drew over here. So my armhole is about 15.5. I divided it by 2. I got about 7.5 minus 5. The 5 which goes, because we are having a off the shoulder, the dress is going to be off the shoulder. We take off 5 inches. After taking off 5 inches, then I go ahead and draw a curved line over here. I went ahead and added seam allowance and cut that out. We are going to cut out the sleeve. I went ahead and marked. Again, I marked 1.5 inch from the top, like I did on the bodice part. Then I'm going to go ahead from there and mark how long my sleeve is minus 5 inches. So I measured from my shoulder to my elbow, and then I took off 5 inches because this dress is going to be off-shoulder dress. Okay, so after that, I went ahead and marked the circumference of my elbow, which was 10, and half of it was 5. So after that, I added about more inches, and I marked the same on the top. I went ahead and drew a straight line. Of course, I went ahead and took away 0.5 inch. Then I connected the top to the bottom and I added 1 inch on the bottom. That's going to be for elastic casing. So I went ahead and got my bodice and I put it on the top to cut out the armhole. Then I cut out my pattern. Don't forget to place your pattern on fold when you're cutting. So I'm going to cut out the top. So as we proceed, I've put together my 2 pieces. I put them together on the side. You don't really have to serge it. Just use the sewing machine if you don't have a serger. So this other step, we are going to be cutting out the bottom. The bottom has 2 layers. And from my waist to the bottom is 40 inches long. So I want the first layer to be 16 inches and the last layer to be 24 inches, which makes up to 40 inches. So to get how much to cut for the first layer, I measured around my bodice, which was about all around was 44 inches. Then I I multiplied that by 2, which gave me 88 inches. So I'll be cutting out 88 inches by 16 inches. I will do 16.5, a half for seam allowance. Then I'm going to go ahead and cut the bottom part. I'll do the same thing. I'll multiply 88 inches by 2, which will give me 176 inches. So for the last layer I'll cut out 176 inches by 25. The 1 inch will be for, half an inch will be for hemming, and the other one for seam allowance. So here I'm cutting out the first layer. So this is our first layer. I went ahead and sewn the sides together. Then I proceeded to cut out the bottom layer as well. So I'm going to cut the sleeve. Alright, so this is our bodice, and I'm from sewing our sleeves. So I'm going to attach them. What I'm going to do, I'm going to open up right sides together, and then I'll open the right sides together of my sleeves and put them together, just like, oh, I'm sorry, and put them together. You see that? Right sides of my bodice and the right sides of my sleeve. Then I'm going to pin it down and sew all the way. This is how it looks like with my, that's a movie on the TV. So, oh my goodness. So this is how it looks like with the sleeves. And the reason it's big because I'll fold it and I'll put some elastic. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get the first layer, gather it, and attach it to the bodice. Please don't forget to share, to subscribe, and leave a comment as well. Any questions, you can leave them in the comment section below. I'll be glad to answer them. So after gathering it to the size of our bodice, we are going to go ahead, get the bottom of our bodice and pin it together with this gathered part. Okay, I'm going to do right sides together. I'm going to put this in here. I'll start with the sides. Then I'm going to get the other sides. Which was right over here. And pin it down. So I'm going to make sure this fits this area. This is how it looks so far after putting the first layer. So I'm going to put the second layer, which is supposed to be the bottom part. So we are going to fold up the top to form an elastic casing. So I said mine, so I'll just fold once. If you don't have a serger, you're going to fold about half an inch, then another half an inch. Alright, so I left a small opening that I'm going to use to insert my elastic, and I'm using a safety pin to insert my elastic. Alright, so I'm going to do the same to the sleeve bottom, and I add some elastic as well. Okay, so this is my sleeves, and this is the the top. So I'm going to wear this dress and I'll show you how it looks like. Now I'm going to hem the bottom and show you how it looks like. This is how it looks like with no belt, and this is how it looks like with a belt. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, share, leave a comment. Love you. See you next time.